Hi, everyone. Where was I when I was so rudely interrupted? Welcome. Oh, have you been having fun? I know this weekend was so full. It seems like every knitting club met this weekend. Everyone who wasn't meeting was at Maryland Sheep and Wool. And what else? There was something else going on. Oh, yes. The speedster people were meeting in Missouri. So you can't say you didn't have choices. You might have chosen not to go to any, but there were certainly things to do this weekend. Okay. Um, yeah, me and the giant shoe. It looks so big up here. I think this is more green than blue. It looks like it's a light green with gray. So I have to color match because I was talking about making socks to match this. And I've realized something. It does not make sense. Let's put the giant shoe back. Now you can see it from the back. It does not make sense to to dye a whole a whole hank of yarn just to make a pair of socks. I think what I will do is I will make the socks. Maybe I'll make two, three pairs. I'll make the socks first, then dye one and see what it looks like. If I need to go lighter or darker, or if I need to put more gray or less green, whatever. And maybe I can Google it and see what colors make up whatever color this is. Okay? So, oh, and this, remember the yarn I dyed and I said it was going into the 75% off bin? I over dyed it and got this beautiful color. So, it's now back to not on sale. I have to figure out what I'm going to do with it. Because one of the things I realize is I dye one hank of a color. But what happens if I want more of that color? You know, you never ever get it to match the second time. Why? It's like each of these hanks has a personality. They take color in a different way. You'll put one hank in 5 minutes and have a deep color. You'll take another one and you'll put it in, it'll be splotchy. You'll take another one and it'll be a slightly lighter shade. So I think either I'm going to have to sit at the flatbed. When will that be with the state that room is in? And knit out a blank and just dye it and then separate the two hanks and then hopefully I will have the same color. But that might also be inefficient. It might be good to make sure your colors match. But I'm tired of all these little balls of yarn that I have left after I make a sock. I mean, where is it? It's all the way over there. I'm not going over there. But I have a collection. And I think the way around that might be to knit the sock first and then dye it. That way I have yarn that's undyed that I can keep using and my collection of balls will stop because it's getting ridiculous now. One day I will show it to you. No. Okay, so yeah, that might be a good strategy. Okay, now you did some awesome stuff this week. Like what? Nice colors. Is that for me? Oh, that was a no? Well, I'm sure whomever you give it to will love it. Okay? And if they don't, I'm willing to hold on to it for them till they change their mind. Okay? So what have I been doing? Remember this? I have a taker. I have a request for socks in masculine colors. This is definitely yarn that's masculine. So it's already a blank, but I think the foot, this would be wide would be nice for the ankle, but I've seen his feet. This will be too big, so I'm gonna have to take it out. But what I've been doing is I have been marking off where the pattern each repeat with my little light bulb stitch markers. That way, what I'm planning to do is to knit the rib at the top of the sock first. So I'll do like 200 rows of rib. And each socks will have like 96 rows of rib each, because when Blue is in the mood and ribs, she ribs well. When she's in a bad mood, she doesn't rib well, and I don't want to be aggravated. So hopefully it'll go well the first time. I'll divide the 200 rows of rib, one for each socks. When I finish the first sock, I will separate the ribs and I will hang them. They're already done, and just start a sock. That should save my blood pressure, because there are days when Princess Blue does not behave at all. I think she does it to annoy me. Maybe it's a game. I need to be careful and not say this outside. Certainly not in the presence of any medical professional before they label me a schizophrenic try to give me medication. No, because I didn't even try last week. Last week. Remember I was talking about color matching? Because we all know I'm passionate about this color. Look what I found. What is this? An onion chopper in my color. Well, in trying to match, I realized, because here's a bag too, and here, glasses. I'm not picking up the Cricut machine. And the bag is over there. I love this color. And in trying to color match, this was the third one that I did. I dyed this. And I went to make a sock with it. Blue was not having it. Machine did not want to rib no matter what I did. So I unthread the machine, put it away, and it's still here. I'll try again this week and see if she's in the mood. Okay? Can you imagine having such a temperamental machine? I cannot say that my crafting is boring. There's always something going on. Now, what did I do this week? Oh, I probably need to talk a little faster because I'm trying to keep this at 15 minutes. And last week at almost 20, the recording just cut out on me. So let's get to what I did. Now remember this? Here's my hat. Here's the progress I have made so far. Yeah, tilted so you can see the diagonal. And as you can see, I made a mistake right here. Because you see how my diagonal starts going this way, then it starts going that way. What did I do? I think I put the knitting down, and when I picked it up, instead of finishing the row in the direction I was going, I reversed it and didn't realize. So now my slanted ribs are going in two different directions, which is great though, because if I hadn't told you, you would have thought it was just the design, because I know you can do that. I must say though, where is that? I am a little disappointed with the Lycra. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see the Lycra. The Lycra has a mind of its own. From here to here, there's Lycra, and there was no Lycra here, and then it started again. The Lycra popped and scrunched up on itself. So when I got almost here, I see this big ball of fluff, and I'm like, what's that on my knitting? And I pull it, and it's the Lycra that had scrunched. So when this is done, it might not be a good idea to give it a blast of steam to see if it will shrink. It would fit, but then it would have to stretch each time I put it on my head. Which reminds me, I should put it on my head. Hold on a second. Hold on. Yeah. So far, that's what my hat looks like. And I gotta tell you, I love the colors. And I have to try to reproduce it because I want more than one hat in this color. I don't think there's going to be enough for a second hat. Now, mind you, I'm almost at the crown, but I want it a little longer because I like it to fit. It's interesting. It's not snug. My head is 21 inches around, so I made it 23. The circumference of the hat is actually 23 inches. I don't think I'll ever let my hair really grow again, but I put in 2 inches of wiggle room. And also, I don't know how much it's going to shrink when I wash it. But I love the colors. And I remember looking at it when I first did it and going, oh my God, that's really bright. But now that I want more, I don't have very much. Oh. And this is my DK weight. But as I said, before I die, because I seem to have been bitten by the dyeing bug, I am going to knit first and dye later. Okay? So I'm glad the progress I made. Man, you got to really love someone to do all this stuff by hand. You really have to. And the sock, the second part, as you can see, I'm making some progress. Okay? Remember last week you could barely see it. And I finally learned what the pattern is. It's now in my head. Before it wasn't. I was always reaching for my phone, like, how much? But this is a work in progress. I've got to fix my room so I can get back to my machines. Oh, and this, I have been able to find this. I finally trying to clean up because now I have a living room. I want my dining room to look nice. My 120 knit one, purl one, cuff fur sock. I went online and someone is selling a 3D printed 120 needle cylinder for $80. You can't beat that unless it was free, of course. But I'm thinking, me, plastic, the third world, dropping it, it might not be worth it to get that. I might be better off buying a metal 120 needle cylinder with matching ribbon. But I have to think about that. And the thing is, now that I'm doing this and I love this stitch so much, this is boring. This is boring. But we'll see, because this is boring, this is tiresome. And God help me, I'm still working on the flick knitting. Everybody's got their finger bent like this and they have the yarn at the tip here. My finger will not bend. It's pointing. Were I to die, they would have to break it to put it down. No matter what I do, this finger will not bend. Okay? You see how it's bent? It stays like that until I take up the knitting. As soon, and I'll show you, as soon as I take up the knitting and I tension my yarn, look, it's straight out. Everybody else is bent and it's at the tip, not mine. It's straight out with the yarn all down here. I don't know how I'm going to make up speed when it's doing that. But that's all right. I will keep working on this. And it's my lucky day. This is so much. But I found one of the little things of Lycra. This is portable, so I can carry this when I'm doing some handwork. I'm pleased with that. Also, I'm gathering my silk for echo printing on sock yarn because I've discovered this was my first set of echo printing and I did it on wool. The colors are not as vibrant and they're too tight. I don't know what I'm going to do. This one I can take out because this I haven't echo printed yet. It's perfectly blank. Okay? And this one isn't even knit up. And somewhere I have more silk, but I'm worried. Silk and alpaca. One needs one kind of mordant, one doesn't. I don't know what it's going to do. but it'll be fun to find out. Have you tried it? If you have, let me know. Okay? But I've reached my 15 minutes. I'm going a little over. I'm done. Thank you for being here, and I'll catch you next time.